Hey, y'all. Listen, welcome in the building. I'm trying to get myself settled here with my water, but welcome in the building, y'all. What's today? Today's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Trending Topics Tuesday, and I'm glad to see y'all here. I'm glad you're in the building. I'm glad y'all hanging out with the Diva. Now, my computer trying to act up, but the show must go on. Yeah, we're here to talk about stuff. And the title is We Believe Some. We believe some. It's interesting to me. Selective belief. And why do I say that? Because today the Tyler Perry situation came out. Tyler Perry, for the second time, if I got to jog your memory, is being accused of touching people that don't want to be touched by him. Guess that's the way I put it. This actor from The Oval, I never watched that show. He claims he befriended Tyler, and Tyler invited him to, it's the same blueprint. Tyler invited him to his house. He drunk too much. He went and laid down in the guest bedroom. Next thing you know, he woke up to Tyler fondling him and touching him. According to him. Said he was able to stop Tyler at that particular moment, but the harassment continued. Now, if y'all remember, because I got sucked in by Christian Keys. I was crying with Christian Keys. Y'all remember Christian Keys? He didn't name no names, but he alluded to who it was. Christian Keys told a similar story. I went to his house. I drank too much. Next thing you know, I laid down in the guest bedroom, and then he was touching me and so forth and so on. And he said he had a pen and he recorded everything and this, that, the other. And then his brother was calling on the phone. He said, no, brother, no, I'm not going to say his name. I just got to tell this story. Now, his name is Derek, I want to say. He won $260 million. I don't know where these people come up with their numbers. Now, listen, but when I did the video earlier, it was interesting to me. Some people was calling him a straight up liar. And I said, ooh, ain't it interesting how we believe some and others, when they come out the gate with their stories, we call it lies from the door. We believe some. The people say he's a liar. We're going to talk about it. We believe some. That's the title tonight. Then we got the Diddy trial. And y'all know every now and then I like to rub it in. But we're going to call this thing for what it is. It's a whole circus. It's a circus. The judge is the ringleader. And he has zero control. He don't got no control over the people in the gallery. Because remember the woman, she in the main courtroom. And she talking about, Diddy, they trying to get you, Diddy. Then they had to take her up out of there. Juror number 6, they said went rogue. And now, allegedly, juror number 7 went a little rogue too. But the judge didn't want us to know that. Because he don't want us to know that he got no control over this court. So this morning, he called in the lead attorneys from both sides. He called in Mark from the defense team, and I think he called in Maureen from the prosecution team. And he gave them a scolding. He slapped them on the hand and said, somebody in here leaked information to the press, and I know it's somebody in here because what I said was sealed, and we had this conversation in private, so it wasn't a blogger, it wasn't a juror, it wasn't anybody in the gallery, it was one of y'all. That's what the judge told him. And he said, I issued a gag order. So I need to know who in here said something. And the prosecution told the judge, I ain't say nothing. The defense told the judge, it wasn't me. And then he got even more pissed. He said, somebody lying. He said, somebody's lying. And none of them cocked to the truth. But you know what he told the prosecution and the defense? Let something else leak out again, and it's gonna be your head, because y'all gonna turn over your cell phones. He got gangster with him. He said, y'all gonna turn over your cell phones, y'all gonna turn over your laptops. And he said, I don't care if it's somebody on your team that did it. He said, get your team in order. But what did we do yesterday? What did we say yesterday? What was our title yesterday? Order in the court. That was our title yesterday. If you watching the Diva, and I know y'all got bigger channels to watch, but y'all better take this information back to the judge if you're watching the Diva. He got to reel this thing in. And I already told him he should have sequestered that jury. And I know, Judge Iran, you didn't want us to know about juror number 7. Because it looks crazy that in 1 week, 2 jurors got to go. But you got to release juror number 7, Judge. Because juror number 7 got a text message. That's what the judge didn't want us to know. He didn't want us to know that juror number 7 got a text message saying, are you juror number 6? He didn't want us to know. But we know. And because if you don't get rid of juror number 7, it's going to look crazy that you got rid of juror number 6. So you said juror number 6 was deceitful. So what do you want to call juror number 7? Because obviously somebody knows that juror number 7 is on the case, because they asked him, are you juror number 6? So they know he's on the Diddy trial. So what does that mean? They know he's running his mouth and telling people about the case. And you let him stay on another day. So now he went home and told the people about the freak off videos and what he saw. Reel it in, Judge. Reel it in. You reprimanding the defense and the prosecution, reprimand yourself. You had lost control over this case. And you know what y'all need to do? Y'all need to offer Diddy another plea deal. And this plea deal need to be the lesser charge. Give him time served and some probation time. Make him go to rehab and save the taxpayers some money. Because if you already spent $500,000 on this circus, we don't want another dime going to this trial. Now, we believe some is the title. Let me go on to 50 Cent baby mama. I believe she's baby mama number 1. She the mother to Marquise, the baby, the child, where he's an adult now, that Diddy don't want to claim. How you wake up and can't stand your own child is beyond me. It's crazy to me. So she comes out. Everybody's going rogue right now. She comes out and she is saying that Diddy, I keep saying Diddy, that 50 Cent got a problem putting his hands on the people. She said 50 Cent allegedly beat her when she was pregnant. Beat after she was pregnant, house. It's a mess. And she said Daphne Joy asked her one time, can you testify in my trial that I have against 50 for putting his hands on me? And she said, I said no. She claims she said no because when Daphne Joy got with 50 Cent, she said Daphne Joy helped 50 Cent mock her. She thought she was the better one. She thought she was the chosen one. When a woman gonna wake up? If you know anything or can learn anything from the diva, learn this. If you meet a man and he got a baby mama and he talks to you badly about that baby mama, if that don't have you raising an eyebrow, then you crazy. And respectfully, whatever happens to you in that relationship, you deserve it. Because you should be giving him the side eye. And if he asks you to join in and help him mock his baby mama, she also claims that Daphne Joy was a Las Vegas escort and Diddy knew it. I mean, I keep saying Diddy, and 50 Cent knew it. Child. The stuff that goes on with these people. My internet is acting up, huh? I see I keep freezing, but I'm hardwired in. It's crazy. And it's saying I'm at 5G. Who messing with me? No, it's me, Amy. It's me. It's me, they saying. It's me. Well, I hope it gets better because I'm still going to talk. You know, if they trying to shut me down, they try to play or trying to shut me up, but I will not be stopped. Got to keep talking. Let me bring the people on in the building. I mean, I'm hardwired in. I don't know what else to do. Who's trying to shut the diva down? But listen, it's Tuesday night trending topics. We got stuff to talk about. The title is called We Believe Some. We got the Diddy trial updates. Tyler Perry being accused. And 50 Cent baby mama exposes him. Y'all know what I need in the chat? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics. We got stuff to talk about. I'm going to bring the people in the building. Hold on one second. Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Diva, you know who you getting mad out here? Girl, you talking more about this. Listen,
hey, Diva. Hey, panel. Hey, chat.
Hey, Katrina. Listen, this might be your last night, Diva. Better watch it.
They're going to come for me. But listen. I'm trying to, the judge may not realize it, Felicia, but all jokes aside, I'm trying to help him. Because he's in over his head with this case. And sometimes you need the outside people looking in to tell you what's up and what's good. He's running a circus out there in New York. And he needs to ring it in. So let me go ahead because I swear to goodness, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm 100%. My thing is saying 5G in the corner. Somebody trying to stop the diva from talking, but I won't be stopped. So we're going to go ahead and give these Diddy trial updates, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? Brandon Paul, the jug mill, he was supposed to talk today, but he got himself a deal. You know, this case, everybody's getting a deal. I hope Christina Corman got hers because, honey, they saying everybody that tell a story, her name come up. Let me share this screen. So Diddy trial highlights big spending on freak offs, more footage too. He spent a lot of money on these freak offs. Like, it's just crazy. But that's what he loved to do, and everybody spends their money on what they love, right? Let's take a listen.
I say the home stretch because for the prosecution, it is a home stretch. They are about to wrap up their case, and then the defense will get to make their case. But today went, it was a little strange. What we were really expecting today was Brendan Paul, the former assistant to Diddy. He's the guy who was arrested during the raids in Miami that pulled him off Diddy's private jet. Well, he was supposed to testify and did come into court at the beginning of the day, pled the fifth, and then took an immunity deal. He never got on the stand, though, today because things really got bogged down with two things. A special agent who testified about a lot of things that may seem really boring, but are really, really important to the case. And freak off videos, lots of freak off videos. So we're going to go through all of that. And then you got to stick around for this because you talk about how the other half lives. Obviously, we know Diddy's a mogul. But how would you imagine that he could possibly run up $1 million, nearly $1 million on his Amex bill in 1 month? We're going to show you. All right. So after Brendan Paul takes his immunity deal this morning, he was let out of the room, out of the courtroom. We actually hear Diddy speak in court, to which he doesn't normally. He's usually sitting there pretty quietly, but he did answer the judge, had to say, "Yes, Your Honor," when asked to confirm if he was waiving his right to be present while Brendan Paul got his immunity deal. So Diddy was in back, and this is a sort of preview of what was to come. He was in a holding cell, actually watching the videos that were going to be shown to the jurors later that day. These are the freak off videos. So it's almost like he got a chance to review things that were edited that were going to be played for the jurors. So then this special agent comes in, Delisa Penland, and she is testifying to the details of a lot of these freak offs and the setup for these freak offs and the expense of these freak offs. Now, a lot of this is going to sound like bookkeeping. I'm not going to go through all of the numbers and everything that she testified about. You can imagine this was a lot about the travel for all of the different male escorts, travel for Jules, travel for Clayton Howard, who's also been called Dave during some of these freak offs. And she's going through all of these details for two reasons. One, this goes to the Mann Act. This is the transportation for purposes of prostitution. And I don't know how you can't say the government has Diddy dead to rights on this particular count, because she went through the cost of flights, what airlines they flew on, what hotels they stayed in, the cost of the hotels. And it is outrageous, some of these numbers. But all that goes to the fact that he absolutely, Diddy, was transporting these people for purpose of prostitution. When the defense starts, we know that one of the things that they had said going into this was that they wanted to put this Mann Act on trial. The fact that just because he flew these guys to these parties, to the freak offs, they're adults, they're consenting, and Diddy's team feels like the Mann Act is an old, outdated, and racist law. So expect some of that next week when they start their case. So beyond those details, there is a lot of testimony about Cassie and text messages that Cassie sent to Diddy, especially on March 5th, 2016, the day of the hotel beating at the Intercontinental Hotel. And they run through a lot of these text messages, but really, we're not going to go through all of it because this again goes back to, it just shows that Diddy was a horrible person to her, horrible human being to her, a horrible boyfriend. It doesn't really go to any of the criminal counts. It does show panic on his part, though, which is interesting and maybe shows him being concerned that he's losing control over Cassie, and maybe that's why these were brought up. But in particular, there are a bunch of texts right after she leaves the Intercontinental Hotel, and those texts are him sort of panicking, saying, "You're going to abandon me all alone." He even says to her, "I'm about to be arrested," which we know is not the case. The police did not show up there. So this is after she's left the hotel. The only thing she responded to him was to say, "I went and checked everything and spoke to security at the hotel. Jules, the entertainer, the escort who was there with him, Jules left, so you're good. And as long as you don't disturb the other guests, they'll leave you be." So she's saying, just leave me alone. This is awful that you did this to me, but she's sort of trying to put his mind at ease. I'm not going to police. And then the other thing that they showed, which there was a reaction that was in the courtroom. We're told that there were some photos showed that were very jarring for people in the courtroom to see. Photos of wounds to Cassie's eye, and they ended the day with this text that she sends to Diddy saying, "Nothing good comes from freak offs. You treat me like Ike Turner treated Tina Turner." And that was when they rested for the day. So, pretty powerful ending for the prosecution, certainly, to get that text message in there and Cassie's message. Now, this $1 million Amex bill, because this is crazy. On one particular month, just some of the things that went into that bill. A flight from JFK to LA for one of the entertainers, a stay at the Four Seasons in LA, and there's a travel invoice. This is important because it also goes to Rico. Travel invoice for Bad Boy Entertainment, and a $500 charge for damages to drapes at the Beverly Hills hotel for that, and then they paid him back. So there's an executive assistant who worked for him for 2 years that needed deep cleaning. A $46,000 damage charge. 46.
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you. Was yours freezing up too, Wayne?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
It had to be Diva. She gone, but it was mine was freezing up too. That's why I was asking.
Oh,
Yes,
we
it
live.
is.
We live.
Yes, we are.
Hey, everybody. Diva says, please hold on. She's trying to come back.
Thank you, Felicia.
That's not Felicia. That's Jennifer Lewis.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Oh, my thing is just cutting a fool. Okay. Was y'all still hearing the video though?
No, we wasn't hearing nothing, girl. We thought they came and got you. Oh yeah, you was gone for a while here. Okay.
Yeah. We thought we was backstage for a minute. At least I did.
Listen, it's the wildest thing because I promise you my internet is good. It is good. How much of the video did y'all hear?
We got up to where he spent $1 million or
Last
something.
we heard was the $46,000 in damages.
Wow. Okay, so y'all heard a lot. Y'all heard a good portion of it. I think it was pretty much to the end. I'm afraid to even continue playing it because I don't know what's going to happen. Child, this is terrible. Let me see. But this the first night they've been messing with me like this. Who mad at me? Who mad?
The judge.
I don't even think I should probably play the rest of the video, right? Because it probably is going to continue to freeze. Do y'all have enough information to discuss?
I mean, yeah, it's no different than what we heard from the past 25 days. Other than
it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different because they're claiming that they got closer to Rico. They definitely got him on the Mann Act. You know, because now they're making a connection with this credit card and him tying it to Bad Boy Entertainment. So they're getting a little closer to the Rico there. But I won't even try right now. Felicia, go ahead and talk.
Listen, I'm a little nervous, Diva. Look. Good evening, everyone. Look, Diva, you know, there's a lot going on with this case, okay? There's a lot going on. Now, whatever Charles was talking about, he seemed more worried about how much money Mr. Combs was spending than then making the connection for me. Plus, it was in and out on my end. I'm sure it was like that for a lot of folks. It was freezing. I couldn't hear it. And so I didn't grab it all. So I'm going to have to pass on the rest of this, and that's okay, because I need my paycheck. Thank you.
Okay, so listen, I will add a little bit more to it. Like I said, they're saying that the prosecution won the day today because they got closer to the Mann Act, and with them showing those text messages between Diddy and Cassie is proven because the defense was trying to claim that night, that day of the beating at the hotel was not a freak off day. It was just a boyfriend, girlfriend getting into it. But the text messages kind of show, because she said Jules got out of there. He left. So those text messages will connect back to that. Perhaps it was truly a freak off day, right? Which the defense team was 10 toes down swearing that it was not. Let me see if I could share this really quickly. They hate them hoes, they hating hoes, just don't want Diva to be great. Come on now, 48. They don't want me to be great, but you know what? I'm gonna carry on. Let me see. So this Megan here, she has a lot of information. She got this transcripts from when the judge kind of scolded the defense and the prosecution team. She said, here's the transcript of the judge and Diddy's trial saying someone is lying. That's probably what I should have named this title tonight. Somebody's lying. After prosecutors and the defense both denied knowing who leaked info about a sealed discussion apparently regarding a juror. And I'm telling y'all that this was about juror number 7, not number 6, because juror number 7 came to the judge and said, listen, I got a text message saying that someone asking me who juror number 6, if I was juror number 6. And he was saying that, no, I'm not they asked him if he was juror number 6, right? And so he claimed that initially he did not know who sent the text, but then later on they found out that he did know the person who sent the text. So that means he was running his mouth saying that he is at least a juror on the case. And so pretty much, I'm not going to read this in the print, it's so small, but I did read it all, but I'll give you the summary. The judge asked both of them, the lead attorneys, like, who do you know if anybody in your camp leaked this information? They both claim no. He said, okay, from now on, both of y'all are responsible for your camp. He said, there's no more, I don't want another document where y'all don't, the other people could write the document, but y'all have to sign off on it. And he said, if anybody in your camp I determined that they leaked something, y'all going to be responsible. And I'm taking everybody's phones and I'm holding y'all in contempt of court. And he asked them, did they understand? And both of them confirmed that I understand. So she said, here he had asked Mark, do you know who the source of the article was? Mark said, I do not. But to be fair, he also asked Maureen Comey, do you know? She said, I do not. And he told them, well, y'all was the only ones up in here. So somebody's lying, he said. Somebody's lying. But he said, okay, you know what? Cool. If it happens again, y'all going down. Yes, he did. He was pissed. Okay. So Wayne, your thoughts?
The judge must not have been on the bench too long, because the very things that you don't do, they doing. And I know when I was on a case, I mean, they almost like put the fear of God in you, like, oh, you don't talk about the case, you don't do this. We weren't sequestered, but still, we didn't talk about the case. So a case like this, you would have thought that, what's the probability that these people are going to talk, or something's going to be said, or people not going to know them and going to be calling them up. So, this is crazy to do something like that. And the $1 million, I mean, rich people spend money like that. I mean, $1 million. So I don't really, they're saying, you want to, why can't you, I'm going to have a big party. Diva, come on in. Felicia, come on in. Savannah, Katrina, come on in. The tickets are waiting for you at the airport. What's wrong with that? Like I said, I think there was all adults and stuff.
Wayne, can y'all hear me? I guess, and listen, y'all know I usually have my camera on. I got no problem with that. But Bonita gave me a suggestion to turn the camera off, and maybe I'll stop freezing. So that's why I turned it off. But let me say this. Wayne, I guess if you leave the ticket for me at the airport, and when I get to your house, if we have sex, you have sex trafficked at me, and you're in trouble.
Okay. But I don't, what people do is their business. I mean, how you going to, you're going for something and you know what you're going for, and somebody chooses to spend their money that way, But still, I mean, that's just my personal opinion, But the judge definitely, I mean, the judge gonna blow this.
Yes, he is.
The people on stand, the judge gonna blow this.
Yes, he is. And somebody better tell him to stop getting mad at me. I'm trying to help him out. Because I told him the truth. I said sequester the jury. He did not. That ain't my fault. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, Wayne, I'm gonna leave my tickets here at the counter. I'm not going. So you can count me out, especially if it's on the island somewhere. I can't get off. So no.
No, it's at the Intercontinental. Felicia's favorite hotel.
Child.
Man, $1 million, that to me is just because you got it. To me, it still sounded like destruction of property. So I I was shocked that he had $1 million bill, and there was some charges for $46,000, and that was surprising to me. I think the special agent did a good job creating a timeline and kind of driving the fact that these women were willing participants to these activities. Was Diddy an abuser? Yeah, but these women continued to come back, and they were willing to do whatever it took to get a Birkin. So that point drove really hard for me today when they were reading some of these text messages between Sean and Cassie, especially. I'm glad the judge. I honestly believe that leak came from the prosecution side. I'm glad that the judge is finally upset and trying to put some order, which he should have done from the beginning. I think the jury should have been sequestered. They should not have been out there. I do believe juror number 7 has been talking because I think he also got onto the jury pool for likes and views, and just to say that he's involved. I believe I heard that they're going to be resting this week. The prosecution should be resting their case this week. So thank goodness. I'm ready to move on from adult entertainment parties and move on to whatever the serious charges that got him there in the first place. So I think today was a win for the prosecution because they are spinning this narrative that these were some freaky, deviant adults who had nothing better to do but just be straight up nasty. And I'm just ready to move on from this case.
Thank you, Savannah. So I'm not surprised about the $1 million Amex bill. I know regular folk that their Amex bill is about $5,000 a month and then some, right? So for a billionaire's bill to be $1 million a month, it is not. I'm not like OMG, especially because you cannot, unfortunately, nobody really ever takes cash these days. So, but he definitely couldn't go pay cash for plane tickets, right? He wasn't going to be able to go to hotels and pay cash for the hotel bill, right? He only paid cash allegedly when people was about to get bribed. So I'm not shocked at this bill, and I'm really not shocked because allegedly, what's her name? What is her darn name? Croatia was getting $300,000 a month just to be in his presence and do whatever it is she did or did not do. So this bill is not shocking to me. The fact that he got all of those damages, well, I'm not shocked because the oil, period, like if you ever are getting dressed and if you use any type of lotion or whatever on your skin, I make sure that when I'm getting ready to go somewhere, because I do use coconut oil on my skin and sometimes shea butter, and I gotta wait till it kind of dries up. If I don't, your clothes will get damaged. So I say that all that to say that he was obsessed allegedly with this baby oil and even had them re-oiling up in between scenes. Like he said, he would say, what did it say? Maybe they say cut or stop. He say stop. We need more baby oil. Redo that scene, okay? He liked his baby oil. So could you imagine it? Most rooms have carpet. In these hotel rooms, can you imagine the oil that was just everywhere? Because one assistant claimed they came in and was slipping and sliding because it was so much oil. So I'm not surprised that at one place gave them $46,000 bill to do whatever they needed to do with that room. And imagine that's $46,000 after the person came and cleaned up. Because remember, the assistants all said they had to clean up. Katrina, your thoughts?
He using all this money for free calls, but you couldn't pay your artists. Diddy. I mean, he got a lot of stuff going on, and I don't wish bad karma on people. But all that money you spending on free calls, and your artist Black Rob them look like heck before they died. Craig Mack, all of them look like the world had ended before they died because you didn't pay them what they was worth. And now this stuff and came back and bit you in your butt. And the thing of these Instagram models and these rappers better be careful as well because they get flown out to these places to meet these rappers and they get paid for the sexual acts as well. So they need to be careful because if Diddy's getting caught up on this, they're gonna get caught up on this as well. You don't know when an Instagram model gonna say that he flew me out and he did so and so, and they're gonna be up in court. So they need to be careful and need to know what they're doing. The $1 million, yeah, he probably got the black card that they have no limit, so he can charge up to $1 million. It's Diddy. The thing of it is, you do what you want to do. You grown, you grown. But the thing of it is, you out here playing cat and mouse, and your artist is looking like mouses. But the thing of it is, you shouldn't. I mean, if you're gonna do this, rent just ridiculous. I feel sorry for the hotel workers who had to clean up behind them. I just imagine what everyone. Oh Jesus. Anyway, we'll see what goes on in the courts and all that type of stuff. But sometimes your karma just come back and hit you in your forehead. That's all I got.
Oh, look like I'm freezing. Okay, let me go back off camera. So, but y'all can hear me, right? So, listen. BTJ said P is illegal, point blank, period. Yeah, I mean, well, that's why the Mann Act, that's what they definitely got him on for sure. Let me say this about the artist. I watched the movie Straight Outta Compton, and what is his darn name? He does the big three now. Why is his name slipping my mind?
Ice Cube.
Thank you, Katrina. Love you much. Ice Cube said that what's the guy that died?
Eazy-E.
Eazy-E. Thank you, Katrina. Come on now, Katrina. Okay. Eazy-E was ripping them off. And once he found out that he was being ripped off by Eazy-E, Ice Cube said deuces. Now listen, at some point, we gotta stand up, show up, and recognize what's going on with us. Okay. So if you working at the clothing store and your fellow co-workers are getting $20 an hour and you find out you only getting 16, once you find out, knowledge is key. They said knowing is everything, right? It's up to you at that point to do something about it. Some of these individuals, and I don't want to go back over this, they kept going back and back and back. And even when they departed ways with him, they was calling him back as if he was Jesus and the only way that they could ever get a come up. So my thing is, once you realize who he was, move forward, do something else. But don't keep going back to the jungle and acting as if the lions and tigers and bears are not out there ready to get you. Okay, so let's move forward. This Diddy trial is something else. Today, I think, was day number 25 or something like that. The prosecution is going to rest their case. And what they should have did, to me, if you ask me, out the gate, these people that came up today should have been there to explain $1 million on the credit card, this, that, and then heard about all these free calls. Because in their mind, they would have been like, well, dag, imagine if each free call was causing $1 million and he was using his company, whatever. The prosecution did a piss poor job, and I'm not going to change my mind on that. And they might have won the battle, but at the end of the day, we got to see if they're going to win the war. Because remember, they need it without a doubt. All the defense team needs is some reasonable doubt. And there's a lot of reasonable doubt in this situation. But it all depends on what is the defense going to do to defend their client. But Diddy may have locked the artist in by contracts. Not sure though. Miss K&J, you are right. A lot of people was locked in contracts. But let's be clear. Because I know we want to do, Diddy is a monster, this, that, and the other. Pebbles locked, what was it, TLC in a contract, stole their money. I mean, the industry, way before Diddy stepped into it, people was getting horrific contracts and their money was being stolen. Okay? The wonderful Clyde.
New edition.
Yeah, the wonderful Clyde Davis allegedly stole the people's money. So at some point, you got to wake up, stand up, and say, do I want to continue working for $1 just so I could be on somebody's red carpet and then I go home and I'm broke? Or do I want to turn this thing around and do something different? When you watch these movies based on a true story, you don't know all of the details of it. But if James Brown, back in the day, realized that he should start his own company because the people was ripping him off, then all the artists after that, come on, people. Now let me move forward. We're gonna move forward, and it's so weird because I'm used to being on camera, but I gotta do what I gotta do because they trying to stop me from being great, but it ain't gonna happen. So we gotta move on to the Tyler Perry story. Remember, Tyler Perry told us, ladies, he said, if the man that we too picky, he said we too picky. He said, if the man can pay your light bill and buy you dinner every now and then you should be happy. That's interesting. Well, maybe he needs to sit down and give himself some advice. When you 50-something years old, somebody put in the chat for me, let me know Tyler Perry's exact age. But when I'm going to say for right now, he's in his 50s. When you 50-something years old and you don't know better than to be texting somebody all kinds of craziness and that person is your employee, you the fool.
55.
He 55. So he my age. You the fool. And I told y'all right here and right now, I ain't texting nobody nothing but besides hello, goodbye, and all of that type of stuff. When you get too crazy, I got to pick up the phone. And depending upon who you are, there may be not too much I'm going to say to you on that phone either, because some of these people be trying to record you. But I tell you for sure what you ain't going to get. You're not about to get no naked pictures of me via text. You're not going to get me talking crazy over text. I'm not doing it because they come back to bite you later. Now, this young man, I'm not saying, because, like I said, we believe some. I'm not saying what I believe in or don't believe in. But from the text so far, they don't seem that incriminating. They seem engaging. He's engaging in the foolery. My thing is, if you don't like somebody and you don't like the advances they're making towards you, why are you still having conversation with them is beyond me. Because over a job? And now he wants $260 million. He wants us to correct the wrong that he didn't stop when he was in it in real time. But let's get into this story. Hopefully I could share a screen. Now, first, let me see what screen I want to share. First, I want to go down memory lane if I can. We're going to see if it works, y'all. Come on, computer. We got work to do. Don't do this to me. Let's see if nope, it is not. My computer is not happy today. I'm going to try one more time though, because this computer, I don't want this computer to try to be stopping me here. Let's see if I could do it one more time. How
old is it, Diva?
My computer?
Uh-huh.
No, my computer is new. That's why I'm just like, what the heck? I just think it's everything that's going on now that's trying to stop the greatness, but we're going to continue on. Y'all can still hear me, right? All right, so let's slow down memory lane. Let's see if this will play for us.
Listen, a lot of women, especially Black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, Black women are making a lot more money for the most part than Black men, right? There are a lot of Black men who are successful, but for the most part, Black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you can the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have, well, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Don't keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
Child. That's what Tyler has said, right? I think it was just last year we talked about that, what Tyler has said. Well, now let's get into current day, where Tyler is being sued for $260 million. Let's get into this. Hold on one second. Let me try to share this screen again. Bad Bunny said time to move to Bali. But who? Russell Simmons? Oh my God. I've seen Straw. A lot of people were impressed with that movie on Netflix. It wasn't a bad movie. It was a good movie. But if you old school like me and you remember the Bruce Willis movie, The Sixth Sense, that's what it reminded me of. People accuse Tyler Perry of not doing anything original, stealing people's work. But I'll move forward because today we're talking about something else with Tyler Perry. So Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over alleged SA by the Oval actor. Tyler Perry has been accused of alleged SA by an actor from his popular TV series, The Oval, the Post can confirm. According to court documents obtained by the Post, actor Derek Dixon sued Perry, 55, for alleged SA and sexual harassment in the lawsuit filed with the Superior Court of California in Los Angeles on June 13. Dixon claimed that Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a cohesive, sexually exploitative dynamic with the actor. Everybody's into this coercion word now, because of the whole Diddy situation. And I ain't saying he wasn't or was. I'm just, talking about the words he's using. When Dixon did not reciprocate Perry's alleged advances, he claimed, I think these videos playing in behind the background too is causing a lot of problems. He claimed the media mogul purportedly began to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery and professional retaliation per the lawsuit. Dixon claimed that he first met the Diary of a Mad Black Woman creator at an event in 2019, and that Perry picked him out of a crowd and later asked him for his phone number while suggesting that he might have a role for the actor. Perry then cast Dixon in 2 episodes of his BET series, Ruthless. Perry said it was a small role that could get a lot bigger, thereby setting up the stage in a series of escalating quid pro quo offers Dixon alleged in the lawsuit. In January 2020, the House of Pain producer allegedly invited Dixon to his home in Douglasville County, Georgia. Although Dixon hoped that he would be given a chance to befriend Perry and show him how talented an actor he was, Dixon claimed that he was allegedly served many alcoholic drinks and convinced to spend the night at the mogul's home. These are some of the text messages that were shared. My guess I read a lot more of the text messages. My guess is this actor, Derek Dixon, he was either struggling with coming out as who he was or with his sexuality, period. And he kind of shared this with Tyler Perry to give you some context of where maybe these messages, like where they were going. So what is going to take, what is it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that yet in therapy? Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, Geo Metro. Giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist, that's so cool. Where you come from? Unfortunately, Derek, I have friends, and this is Tyler Perry allegedly. Unfortunately, Derek, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and it's so sad. You can have freedom from your religious guilt and still believe in Christ. Nice, this is another text. Nice Santa Monica is nice. I'm glad you are going out there. How is your no? It is stronger. You gotta have a strong no. So yes, it's a strong no. My mom literally thinks I'm going to sell my soul to the Illuminati. She heard Kanye say that it's real. Well, I don't think that, but I do think you have to be able to say no and mean it and make it clear. I only say yes if it gets me an Oscar. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. I hear you. Well, the only one who could have gotten that for you through sex is in prison. So just stick to the no, unless you are really into him. And I believe he is talking about Harvey Weinstein. Why did you take? Why did that photo make me jealous? You two together. I'm assuming Derek, and there was a photo of Derek with some other person. Ha ha, I don't know. It's just Brad, LOL. So it was Brad that he saw the picture, right? He goes, LOL. He just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in. And now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself, LOL. Thick Derek, get that Chipotle. At the end of the night, Perry told Dixon not to drive home, the lawsuit read. Perry said it was dangerous and that Dixon was too inebriated to drive home. Dixon agreed and was escorted to a separate guest room, not knowing that this was a ruse to allow Perry to assault Dixon. Dixon was tired and did not have pajamas, and so he got into bed only wearing his underwear. The complaint continued. Before he knew what was happening, Dixon felt someone slip into bed behind him and start rubbing Dixon's body around his inner thighs in a highly sexual and suggestive manner. Dixon turned around and saw that Perry was in the bed with him. Shortly after the alleged incident, Perry cast Dixon in the Oval and allegedly told the actor to quit his other job as an event staffer because Perry was not able to control Dixon so long as Dixon had a secondary income that was providing for his basic needs. Okay, time to treat myself. What are you doing, Derek? Just talking to my sister. I roll. Fine. Good night. I'll go through the 600 people in my phone book and be annoyed that I don't want to talk to any of them. Trying to get off so I can go to sleep, LOL. I understand, LOL. LOL. Apparently you're not the only one that's been drinking tonight. I just started. They didn't, LOL. But I swear to you, I know how to fix this blank. I love killing the MF in the show that no one expects. You could be slipping Martaz counting coconuts right now because he's saying he could have been there with him. Think about the last episode. They're all shot at. We don't know who lives. Exactly. I'm scared. They should be too. Nope, they're not. Last I checked, we all got the same bullets in us. Dixon claimed his role as Dale in the Oval was written as a gay, homeless, and desperate store clerk who was forced to sleep with one of the other characters for a place to stay because that's what Perry was allegedly looking for in a real-life partner. The most shocking accusation allegedly unfolded in June 2021 when Dixon claimed he was almost awed by Perry while once again visiting the Entertainment Mobile's Georgia home. He alleged that Perry pulled down his underwear and groped his butt after asking for a good night hug. Rather than arguing, Dixon complied, at which Perry reached out and yanked Dixon's underwear down from behind. The claims in the lawsuit stated. Perry then began to vigorously grab, grope, and play with Dixon's backside in a S manner. Dixon was had on no clothes, stunned and seized by tremendous fear. Dixon started to tell Perry that he didn't want his underclothes down, that Dixon didn't want to be with no clothes on, and that Dixon didn't want this lawsuit continue. Dixon quickly reached to pull up his underwear back up. As soon as he did, Perry grabbed Dixon, reaching arm with a tight grip and held fast. According to the court documents, Dixon was able to distract Perry and change the subject before the alleged incident went any further. Dixon ultimately filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in or around June 2024 before quitting the Oval because of the alleged sexual harassment per the lawsuit. Besides his many accusations against Perry, Dixon also included several years worth of alleged text messages, exchanges between him and the Madea creator in his filing. Dixon is suing Perry and Tyler Perry Studios for quid pro quo, sexual harassment, work environment harassment, sexual harassment, workplace gender violence, sexual battery, sexual assault, retaliation, and more. He is also seeking $260 million in damages. Just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Ailes, and many others in the industry, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants, Dixon wrote in his lawsuit. That belief slowly transformed into a false idea that Mr. Perry can get whoever he wants, he added. There are things in life that money cannot buy. Perry's attorney, Matthew Boyd, denied the claims, telling the Post this is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Whew, Felicia, your thoughts?
Okay. So Tyler Perry wants to advise women who want to live a life of dignity and choice and self-respect and earn a living wage legally and morally, that if some piece of crap off the street can only pay the light bill, you should be glad for it and take him in and love him just the same. Now, I don't know if these allegations are true about Mr. Perry, but this is a very similar story. He liked getting into the bed with the people. That's a big man. So I don't know what he did or didn't do, but clearly being a billionaire is not necessarily all that attractive. Because with all of that money, you can't seem to get a Diddy bop on. You can't get a whole bunch of people coming in there willing to do whatever for you. So his problems are even deeper. So I think Mr. Perry should figure out who he is and how he wants to live and stop coming up on people sleeping in the guest room trying to work out a situation where they may have consumed too much alcohol. This isn't, no. I don't like it. And I really wish people would just stay away from him and stop filing lawsuits and let that man go figure out who he is. It's terrible. I'm done.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
Oh, first of all, this is either Tyler Perry's MO, because the first part of that story, almost verbatim, was just like Christian Keys. I had too much to drink. They gave me a room. That's just what he said. Almost the same exact thing. So this must be his MO. I don't understand it. But would you say the other day, Felicia, you don't mess with people that has more to lose than you. And he didn't mess with these people. This is not going to be the only one. This is going to be like everybody else. Now that this one has been published, give it a week or two, you're going to get some more people. And also, I don't know any woman that has a regular job and loves a man so much that he can only pay the electric bill and she's fine with that. What he's talking is BS. It don't even make sense. To me, it's like you belittling black women that you need love so bad that you'll settle for just a slice of the bread. So he can take that BS and go back to, to his studios and make a movie. That's it.
Thank you, Wayne. Savannah, your thoughts?
So Derek needs to find out what Christian Keys got and then just double it. And I'm completely with Felicia. Tyler Perry does need to go figure out who he is. I think this is one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood. And then the Derek, there has to be some accountability as well, because he stood there while a man who wanted a hug pulled down his clothing, and he didn't do anything to stop it. He stood there, and I can understand you pausing in disbelief, but the first thing we're going to do is push him, kick him, pull up our clothes and go. But this man continued to work and be around this individual who kept sending him text messages and making it clear that he wanted a little bit more than their current relationship. So whatever Christian Keys got, because we haven't heard from him ever since he made those videos, and he did say he was going to come back and expose and talk about, but he's disappeared. So I think the same thing will happen for this young man, because he has released text messages where there are some essay. Tyler Perry is very flirtatious in his messages, so it makes it very clear what his intentions were. But the young man, I guess he just for job security and continue to be on the show, tolerated it. And so we also have to take some accountability of putting ourselves in dangerous situations and then tolerating such behavior and against our boundaries and just continuously being violated. So I think he'll get some money, definitely not on 260, but at least double whatever Christian got.
Thank you, Savannah. Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay. I'm a little different on the train tonight. Sorry, y'all. But I'm just saying, are we sure those messages was from Tyler Perry? Because text message can be doctored. And you said that when Tyler Perry asked him that about a cowboy outfit that you was wearing, and you saying, well, I have to get an Oscar for that. So your text messages is like you coming back on to him as well. And then he buy you a car and you didn't think nothing of it. You didn't think he didn't want anything from you. And then you said that he climbed in the bed with you that night. Okay, if he climbed in the bed with you that night, why did you go back to the house a second time? I'm not victim shaming. Don't you come for me in the chat. I'm just asking these questions because it's not making no sense. And exactly the way Christian Keys came out here and said it, this is the exact same thing. I'm not saying that Tyler didn't do it, but I'm just saying this is like the playbook. It's exactly what this other guy said. And now you're saying this, but then you're saying that you stayed around, you kept working, like they would say about Cassidy and all that, but you stayed around, you kept working. You got a car. You say he bought you a car. And why are you sending him these text messages back? You responded. Did you see what he's saying in these text messages? If they are his text messages, you're responding back like you're down with it. So I'm not saying that Tyler Perry didn't do anything. I'm not saying that he did. But what I'm saying is the text message that he's reading, that he's telling us, he set up and saying that he'll have to get an Oscar for that, and he got to do this, and you went back and forth to the house. He grabbed you, like Savannah said, you didn't fight him off or whatsoever. Yeah, he a big guy, but sometimes big guys fall harder. I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm not saying he did. But when I was reading those text messages looked like they was pasted together. And this guy saying he ain't working and you suing for $260 million. Then you said you was in counseling and you telling him that counseling is working. So if you did all this, you going to counsel, why you didn't sue before now? I don't know. Something is fishy with this. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just saying it's a little fishy to me. But we'll see how it goes. How the end is going to. Like I said, it seems to me that he is
Katrina, you're getting a lot of feedback. You're getting a lot of feedback, Katrina. Maybe go out and
I think it's messing up. Streamline trunks. Well, here we go. StreamYard want to play with me. I guess they figure I'm with you on the Diva train.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and roll into this last story. And the last story is 50 Cent ex, the mother to his son Marquise. She alleged a lot of things about Daphne Joy, 50 Cent's other baby mother. It's a lot. Let me go ahead and share a screen and we'll get into it. So 50 Cent ex, what you think it is. The ex-girlfriend of rap mogul 50 Cent reveals that her famous former boyfriend beat her on multiple occasions and said the beef with Diddy is not about what you think it is. Shaquana Tompkins, who shares son Marquise Jackson with 50, said that she eventually left the Power and BMF producer because she claims that he wouldn't stop putting his hands on her. Shaquana Thompson responds to 50 Cent's blistering IG rant from Father's Day. These accusations on Monday, June 16th, arrived a day after Father's Day, when Curtis James Jackson III ripped into his estranged son, Marquise Jackson, and her for allegedly being gold diggers who wanted more than $100,000 a year child support payments he gave her. While speaking on Instagram Live, Tompkins claimed she was pregnant with Marquise, who was born in 1996. The first time that 50 Cent allegedly beat her up. Someone asked Thompson's on Instagram live sessions about why she fled the relationship. Because he was abusive. He is still abusive, she said. Emotionally, physically, he's abusive. Shaquana Tompkins describes the alleged abuse. Tompkins also described another alleged incident when 50 Cent beat the mess out of me after their son Marquise told her that 50 had been unfaithful, which led to an argument. She said the last straw was when he hit me in front of my daughter. She goes on to say she questioned what message she was sending to her daughter if she had stayed in a violent relationship. Tompkins added that 50 Cent blamed Marquise for the incident. It's your fault I had to whoop your mother's A. She claims 50 told her son that day. Tompkins claims 50 also beat up Daphne Joy. The mother showed some love to Daphne Joy for being strong after allegedly suffering domestic abuse from 50. Joy and the rapper share his second son, Syed Jackson, who was born in 2012. Tompkins did throw some shade by saying Joy was a call girl from Vegas and claimed 50 Cent knew that when he beat her up in California. Tompkins said the district attorney's office reached out to Tompkins to corroborate Joy's accusation of DV against 50. Tompkins explains why she refused to testify against 50. Tompkins says she refused to testify on Joy's behalf because she wanted to get some payback for slighting her. She gave me so much shade and she was trolling me along with him, Tompkins alleged on IG. Joy thought her and her child were going to be superior to Marquise and I. So I said, I'll sit this one out. As Sean Diddy Combs' ex-trafficking rages on, Tompkins says 50 feud with the bad boy boss does not emanate from what many may think. It is not what y'all think it is, Thompson said. Puffy wasn't the first one to sleep with somebody's baby mother. This happened while I was with him. So I was there, so I know for a fact. So she says she's going to do a part 2, and she's alleging that 50 Cent first slept with one of Diddy's baby mothers, so Diddy returned the favor. Felicia, your thoughts?
Diva, I'm done with these hoes and these predators. I'm done.
Yeah, you know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, really. They all are with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in this group of, I don't know, shared groupies, or whatever you want to call these things that you can or cannot call them. And then when you get put out of the group, you tell what they did to you or what they didn't do to you. You didn't speak the truth. You didn't come forward. I'm not surprised to hear that 50 put his hands on anybody. That's what we know here on the Northeast. Yeah, he puts his hands on you, and he speaks badly about you, and he conducts himself in a very immature way. And it's his turn. It's him, that other idiot, that Tyler, both of them. It's time for them. They're close to being billionaires, right?
Mm-hmm.
So another billionaire bites the dust. Listen, pay up, folks. Pay up. Okay, we haven't heard from Shannon Sharp since he got hit with the 25K per cheek. Okay, if these men don't want to change their behavior, that's on them, because these women are not. They are not. They're going to continue to pursue the bag, the money, the purse, the lifestyle, and you're going to continue to go after them. You're going to have to pay. Now, I appreciate what Lady Love said about Mr. Perry before. But we know he's undercover. And he's going to pay. And I agree with Savannah. He's going to have to pay twice as much as he paid Christian. Because Christian told us about the list. He told us there's a list, and he's got a list of people, of men on the payroll. So 50, he's just, it's unfortunate because there are children involved here. And all of these children are going to grow up and be scarred by what these parents have done. And I, as a believer, believe that your children are a gift, and you're given to you to protect and to love and to raise to the best of your ability. And all of them are falling short. They don't care about these kids, and all they care about is sticking it somewhere. I don't know why they just can't give them like rubber something and let them go do it there, because they're not looking for no real human interaction. Shame on these people. I'm disgusted with all of them. I'm done.
Thank you. I appreciate
Felicia,
you.
can you say you're sick of these hoes one more time, please?
Oh, Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, 50 is so petty, and it's a shame that, these black men have all this money and they're supposed to be like inspirations to younger people. And they constantly, it seems like, if you're a rapper, this is what you got to do, or this is where you find yourself end up at, so it's just all these stories coming up, about black men. It's just really making black men really look bad, especially these rich ones. You think they would be, like some humanitarians, going out just visibly, helping people, or just something to show that I'm more than a rapper. I'm more than a mogul. I'm a real person. That's it.
Thank you, Wayne. Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay, y'all gonna hate me again. 50 have helped a lot of people. He helped a lot of people. I'm not saying he the greatest person in the world, which we all know. But this is the thing. the same person that wanted her to help with the first baby mama. She wanted the first baby mama to help her, but you was trolling this woman on the phone. This is the same woman that popped Diddy 3 times and hit his head on the marble table. So what did you do to 50 for him to do that to you, which no man deserved to hit no woman? That's don't get me don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But this is the same woman that did these things to Diddy. And this is the same woman that was clowning the first baby mama. And then you needed the first baby mama help. You wanted him to go to court against you when you sat up there and clowned her. When she was crazy anyway. She went back to court trying to get extra money, and she was getting 40,000 a month. And the judge said that was too much and dropped her down to 6. So I'm not saying that these women are not bitter. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is sometimes you have to look into these women and say, well, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not a big 50 fan, but I know some of the things that he has done to help these other people in the industry and gave them money and stuff like that. And then he would do a false beef so that person music would stay at the top of the charts. And like I said, he helped a lot of people. He really has. So I'm not going to lie on him about that. Yes, he got faults. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, this is the same one that clowned the first baby mama. So I'm not saying that she's doing things. He's putting his hands on her that should have never happened. But you got to realize you clowned the first one, and then you wanted her to help you. And we know that you hit people as well, because you said you slapped Diddy 3 times and hit his head on the marble table. So did you try that with 50? Some men just, like I said, some men you shouldn't put your hands on nobody. Nobody should be touching anybody. And I'm not saying that he did it out of retaliation, because I don't know the full facts, but we do know that she slaps and hit men because she said it on herself on the stand. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. And like I said, I still say this: nobody should put their hands on anybody. And that's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. I'm trying to see how I'm gonna piece together your information, but I'll just say this: there's something that needs to be looked into when a man feels it's okay to put their hands on somebody, a woman, and a pregnant one, and just, I don't know, I just can never, I think something about that is just not right. It's insane to me. And
No, I'm not saying it's right, Diva.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you are, Katrina. And the fact that a person will find themselves going to one toxic relationship to another, they really need help. And to find out on the back end, now I'm not saying that this what's the name, Shakana, is 100% correct, but she's claiming that Daphne Joy, before she even got with 50 Cent, was an escort from Vegas. It's interesting because a lot of these individuals that do get involved with these men, they want to claim that their behavior was introduced to them by these men. But then you dig a little deeper and you find out that, hold up, wait a minute, before you met them, you was into XYZ. I don't know nothing. I'm not saying nothing, but I'm gonna say this. If let me leave that for later. I'll hold on to that piece. But I will say this with Cassie, because Cassie said her name in this trial. With Cassie, she wanted to act like Diddy introduced her to all of this stuff, but yet before Diddy, she was with an older man. And everybody want to say she was groomed by Diddy, but she seemed to have a preference to date older men with money. Sometimes what you chasing, you might catch it. Savannah, your thoughts?
Oh boy, I agree with Felicia. I think that these women and men are traded in or shared amongst the same circle. My whole thing is, why? What was her purpose of coming out now? Did she just want to be part of this story, or I struggle to find out why she felt it necessary to do a long video to YouTube. Because we've heard about and we know who 50 is, and how he's a troll, and how he's been disagreeing with Sean Combs. I've seen him talk about him on many interviews where 50 didn't agree with his lifestyle, and he was more basic, where Sean was more of a freak. I struggle to figure out what was the purpose of this woman coming out now, and what did she do to protect her son? Because you stayed, you knew what he was doing. I mean, he went to the point of burning her home and pulling out pow-pows on her and stuff. And you continued to be around this man for a while, and then you decided to leave because he continued being exactly who he was, and you allowed him to be. So I could have done without hearing her story. We know his story. We've heard this before. So this isn't new, and she didn't need to be a part of whatever's going on. And she should have just stayed anonymous. Like, we didn't need her story, honestly. So I would rather hear more about the son and the relationship with the son than this woman, because I believe she was also doing some things back in the day.
Ooh, well, I titled it, y'all. We believe some. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me as I work through my technical difficulties. I love y'all much, okay? The party's not going to stop. If I got to keep my camera off, even though I'm used to having my camera on, so we're going to figure this thing out. But the party's not going to stop. The judge in the Diddy trial need to ring this thing in, period. Tyler Perry is too old, whether the guy set him up or not. You put yourself in the position to be set up. You texting your employee back and forth. It's problematic, Tyler. You want to sit on somebody's couch and tell the black woman how we should accept this man and do this, that, and the other. Well, listen to the black woman give you some advice, Tyler Perry. Next time, you shouldn't be texting all that nonsense. Now you got to deal with a $260 million lawsuit. But that's not the problem. The real problem is when Cassie sued Diddy, it opened the floodgates. And Tyler Perry, I hope for you this is not opening no floodgates, because they said you had a list of people, boom, boom, boom. And you even said it in your own text. You said, I guess I go through my book and try to speak to one of the other 600 people I got in here. Telling on yourself. You talk too much. But you put it in writing. And now this man got all your business on Front Street in the lawsuit. And the 50 Cent baby mama, I don't know what to say. I don't. It's messy. I know why she came out now, Savannah. She came out now because 50 Cent went and said something about her son and her on Father's Day. So she figured, okay, I've been keeping all your business quiet, but since you want to keep running your mouth about me, I'm gonna run my mouth about you. So he has been trolling Diddy like Diddy is the biggest monster in the world. And now people are coming out saying that he put his hands on people and be doing some Diddy-like behavior. Because Daphne Joy, for 1 minute, she did try to sue him saying, you argued me. And then all of a sudden it went away. Listen, guys, y'all know the routine. Y'all know what time it is. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody.